Welcome back to another exciting video. And what we're talking about in this video are things coming up, and stick around to the end because you're not going to want to miss it. So, right out of the gate, I got to tell you, man, one of the greatest things I ever did in my life was build this podcast studio. I absolutely love this thing, and I could literally spend all day in here. This was just a brilliant idea that I had, and I do not have many, but this is a brilliant idea I had. I just got through shooting a new podcast for my Closed-Minded podcast. I got to get my earphones right. And like I said, if you're not into politics, you don't want to watch it. But man, I absolutely lost it on there. It's hilarious, and that video will go up after this video goes up. But I was talking about the shortages that are going on because now we have a food shortage that is coming up. And I was trying to make a point using my iPad, and dude, I lost it. I started laughing so hard that I had tears coming out of my face, and I just could not get it under control. I had to get up and walk away. And so even if you're not into politics, you might want to watch that because, man, it's just a quick peek into my mind and how it works. And completely went off the rails on that one. And so I'm not going to edit it out. I'm actually going to leave it in just so people can see how my mind works and all that. But it's actually really funny. So I just got through shooting that. And like I said, I absolutely love this podcast studio here. This is one of the greatest things I've ever done in my life. And I mean that literally. It's just nice to be able to walk in here, click everything on, and just talk to you all. And I dig that. I dig that. So what's going on here? Let me close the old laptop up so it gets out of the way because it's kind of big. So what's going on here is I just want to get everybody kind of up to date on what is going on with me and my YouTube channel because it's time to get this thing cranked up a notch. And like I said, you might want to stick around to the end to see what's coming because it's going to be pretty freaking cool. So I do have the master class of theory that is coming up. I showed on the last video, I showed my whiteboard that I made. Looks like a third grader made it, but I spent hours and hours and hours putting that thing together. And it's going to be pretty cool. And guess what? Guess how much it's going to cost you? That is correct. It's going to cost you $0. Hopefully a subscription. And it's going to take a while. And that's why I'm doing this video, because I didn't want to explain some of these things on the actual videos themselves. It is going to take a while to get through that because the way I've got it set up is I will be doing piano and guitar theory at the same time on that whiteboard. Usually people teach theory one or the other. They do it on a whiteboard and they write everything out. I'm going to try to make this as thorough and complete as I can. So there's going to be a tremendous amount of parts to this thing. And it's going to go on for a while. There's going to be a lot of these that happen, but I'm going to try to keep it very segmented. The first one I'm going to do is going to be over chord structure. And it's kind of go back to, I did put the video up, the easiest way to learn theory. And I was talking about learning it on a piano because the piano is very linear. And you'll see that when we get started in this. But over that, I kind of went over some chord structure and stuff. And I'm going to be doing the same here. I'm actually going to be starting back. I'm going to be starting at the basics. I'm going to be going down to chord structure. And we're going to go over, the basic scales to get started, the major scale, the minor scale, stuff like that. We're not going to get into the modes and all those. That will be way down the road because it's a lot of things to cover before we get into that. And we're going to clear some things up about modes. I've seen a lot of videos about modes. And the people are correct, but their explanation is absolutely terrible. They're like, well, if you want to do the Dorian mode and you're in the C major scale, you just start on D and you play from D to D. Well, in theory, that is correct, but that's not what people want to know. People don't want to know what is the Dorian mode. If you take the key of C and you go to the second mode, Dorian, and you move on and on and on, that's not what people are looking for. People want to know, how do you play a C Dorian? Not that the second position, the second mode is Dorian. Well, how do I play a C Dorian? That's what I want to know. How do I play an A Dorian? So we're going to kind of clear that up because I've seen a lot of comments, I've seen a lot of videos, and they're given just the most basic explanation of the modes. And actually the modes they go a lot further than that. And this is something you've actually got to sit and wrap your brain around for a minute. The modes you got to wrap your brain around them. And I'm just going to leave it at that. And you'll see when we get there. So that's going to be pretty cool. And we're going to get into everything theory we're going to cover on this. And it is going to take a while. It's going to be a lot of videos to get through this. Because like I said, I'm going to try to keep it to the scales, you know, and that video maybe 5 minutes long, maybe 10 minutes long. I don't know. Then we'll do chord structure or chord structure then scales, whichever way we decide to, I lay this out first. And then we will move on from there. And it's going to take a little time on the videos because, like I said, everything I do on that piano part of the whiteboard with the magnets, I'm going to try to duplicate on the guitar so people have a complete understanding depending on the instrument they play. They'll be able to see how it relates to a guitar, but their understanding will come better from the piano part of it. So we're getting ready to get that started, and that is going to be very cool. Also, something else we got coming up, and this is going to be cool, and I cannot wait to get started on this. Take a listen to this for a minute. Yeah, baby. So what we're going to do with that is we're actually going to write a solo. And I'm going to kind of go through how the steps that I use to write solos. And yes, this is my own music. Yes, I did write this. Yes, I did record this. And so I'm going to put it up to you guys to use for whatever you want. And hopefully this is going to be coming very soon. Like I said, I've got a whole list of things. I'm trying to do certain things in certain order, but this is coming up and this is going to be seriously cool. It's that whole jazzy, sexy, vibey thing. And the reason I want to use that type of music, and I just didn't go out and do some kind of shred, you know, because you write more expressive solos when it comes to music like this, the slow, jazzy, sexy, vibey stuff. You write much more, your soloing becomes more expressive. One thing that we're going to cover with what we got coming up, writing solos is not about playing a bazillion notes at one time, even though that's cool, and I got nothing against that. That is seriously cool, and there is a time and a place. The master of that is Mr. Gary Moore himself. Gary Moore is fantastic. In my opinion, he is by far the most melodic soloist. That's a tough statement. Between him and Gilmour, dude, it's honestly a throw up as far as melodic soloist. But oh God, I don't know if I could pick one over the other, to be honest with you. Gary Moore is masterful. He is masterful at writing those beautiful melodic solos. The thing I do like about Gary Moore over David Gilmour, and I love David Gilmour, he is a beast on a guitar. Gary Moore knows when to insert that one little bit of shred in his solos. That, you know, he's just cruising along and then he just cuts loose. And it always seems to be at the right time, at the right place. Absolutely love Gary Moore. And on that note of Gary Moore, I'm actually got one coming up of underrated guitar players. And that is right. Mr. Gary Moore is on that list because he's incredibly underrated for what he does. And he's actually one of my favorite guitarists of all time. And one of the reasons why I started playing guitar was Mr. Gary Moore himself. So we got that coming up, and hopefully it's going to be pretty cool, and you guys are going to be able to take this track, download it from YouTube, or if you are a member of the Patreon, you can just pull it straight from the Patreon page, and you know, write something pretty cool and send it back to me so I can get it up on the channel, because I want to check that out, what you guys come up with. But we're actually going to use that song to do some soloing and kind of give you an idea of how I do it. Not that my way's better than yours. Your way may be the best way to write a solo to the song. But my way's different. And the more tools you have in your toolbox, the better you become. So this is going to be pretty cool, and I'm pretty excited about doing this. Also, I got a segment that's going to be coming up this summer for my subscribers. I have the ability, which is pretty cool, buying all this stuff. And dude, I've spent way too much money on this, but I got to tell you, worth every penny. And I need to give you all a quick little look of what's in here. This is just freaking awesome. And I'll take a snapshot of this. I'll actually use my phone, use the camera on my phone, and I'll take a snapshot of what's going on in here. And because this is just fantastic. And like I said, worth every penny. This is one of the greatest. To me, this is like buying a Ferrari. I absolutely love, I could spend all day in my podcast room. This is just freaking awesome. And it's a very tiny room. It's not a big room, but you know, you don't need a big room. we are going to be doing this little segment where my subscribers, if they want to hop on and do a video with me, I've got some subscribers who just have this an incredible wealth of musical knowledge, the history and stuff. Really fascinating, some of the things that I've learned from you guys that you all are typing back to me on the comments section. And I just absolutely love that. Absolutely brilliant. And so this summer, I'm actually going to start it up to where you can call into the old cell phone. It will be connected to my recorder here, and I can record the conversation, and we can sit here and we can talk, or we could Skype or whatever have you, and I can record the Skype and the audio at the same time, or FaceTime, however you want to do it on the old MacBook or the iPad. And yes, I did get rid of all my Apple stuff except my MacBook and my iPad. These things were paid for, and I've had them. I didn't want to replace them. All my computers, phone, I still have these, and I'm going to keep them till they break, and that's just how the hell it is. But we have that ability to record that, and I think it'd be pretty cool to start that up to where you guys can come onto the channel, and we can discuss some of the things that we talk about, because we've literally had conversations over the comments section, typing back and forth, and that's very cool, and I love doing that. And you guys ask questions, and I answer them, and then and I'll well, hey, I didn't know about ABCDFG. Then you guys reply back with something else. Fantastic and brilliant, and I truly do love that. So I thought, what, it would be cool to get some of you guys just to come on here, and let's just pick the random topic of Eddie Van Halen and share some of your knowledge, because I'm sure a lot of people would like to know, because I'm sure you know things that I don't know, and I know a lot about it. But you guys, I swear to God, y'all know a lot of things I don't know. And I tell you, dude, I had no idea. I did not know this was going on, and so that's pretty cool. So so far we got the song studio we got coming up. We got the theory class coming up. I got the video of underappreciated guitarist, underrated guitarist. Brant, dude, it is late here where I'm at. Well, it's late to me. It's midnight. So if I look tired, it's because, damn it, I'm tired. I worked all day. I didn't get home till 9 o'clock from work. Came home, ate, fed the dog, shot the podcast video, and now I'm shooting this video. And this one will go up, pretty quick. And so, like I said, I've got the video of the underrated guitarist, and Brad Gillis is going to be on there also, which is another one that we had going on between one of the subscribers here. We were talking about Brad Gillis, and he was enlightening me on some other things that I simply did not know. And I thought that was very cool. And actually, it was those couple of conversations I had about EVH and the one about Brad Gillis and all that kind of got this rolling for me, thinking, you know what? It would just be so cool just to have you guys call in. We'll pick a time, we'll do it like we'll say a Wednesday. I'll give you my contact information, and okay, Wednesday, 9 o'clock, call in, I'll hit record, and then we'll go. That'll be pretty cool, and I think that would be fun to do. So we got that coming up, so that's going to be pretty cool. So, and now, as you all may or may not know, starting a YouTube channel is incredibly hard, and it's a tremendous amount of work. And before I got in to start doing this, I did a lot of reading on it. Do I want to do it? Do I have time? This, that, the other. Because the other job I had before I moved back home was just unbelievably demanding. And I was working literally 70 hours a week, every week. Now, the money was fantastic. But with that money came a huge cost, man. I mean, I was getting out of shape. I didn't feel good. I didn't look good. I quit playing music altogether because I had no time. I quit playing piano. I quit playing guitar. And actually, that's when I started my YouTube channel, because I had no outlet where I was at for anything, because I worked all the time. So I actually started shooting my YouTube channel. When I moved away, I sold, I've got the video production company. I sold all my camera gear and everything, because when I moved to Alabama, I was not going to start it over. It's too hard to start. So when I first started shooting my YouTube videos, and I started that in Alabama simply because I was miserable down there. I was down there during COVID. I didn't know a damn soul down there. I didn't know anybody. I couldn't go meet anybody because everything was closed and we were on lockdown. And so I was literally going to work for 10 to 12 hours a day and coming home. Work 10, 12 hours a day, coming home. Work 10, 12 hours a day, coming. And I was doing that 6 and 7 days a week. Every single day I was down there. So that's when I started my YouTube channel, and I actually started it on my cell phone. I set it up on this dresser thing that I've got with wheels on it, hit record. And I did have my little H4n recorder that I kept when I sold all my camera gear. I kept that because I've got multiple uses for that. And so I did keep that, and that's what I was capturing audio on, and I still use that today. It is a fantastic little piece of gear. So, but when I was doing this, I was reading all the articles, and they said, I read multiple things, and it said it is harder to go from 0 to 1,000 than it is to go from 1,000 to 50,000. They said it could take 1 to 5 years to get your first 1,000 subscribers. And I believe that. Because, dude, it has been so hard to get subscribers. And, of course, I couldn't stay regular. And you need to be, it doesn't have to be like every Wednesday, every Sunday, every Monday. But you got to constantly have content coming up in order to get new subscribers. And I've been having a hard time with that because, A, my job in Alabama, hell, I just worked all the time. I didn't have time. Then I moved back up here and I started to get some videos up, but then the whole house thing come up and I had to go work on the house and get that sold. And I went months without putting anything up. So now I'm a little grounded and now I'm back and I'm getting things a little more settled now. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this thing turned up a notch. Now that I've got things settled down, I thought, you know what? I should be able to get 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I've got a lot of great videos coming up, a lot of cool things happening. I'm right on the verge of breaking that hump. I qualify to monetize all the way around, except for on the subscribers. I do not have enough subscribers. So I thought, you know what? Damn it. I put a lot of work into this. It's time to ratchet this thing up. So what we're going to do, if I can get to 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and yes, that is a big-ass number. From where I'm at, that is a huge number. The reason I picked such a huge number is because... One second. I'm reaching. If I can get to 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, then I am giving away, that is correct, my beloved S-Series Ibanez. This guitar is dead mint, flawless. Yes, it has been played. I have played the hell out of it. But this thing, I mean, the guitar is literally perfect. There's not a dent, ding, scratch. I'm very particular with my guitars. So if I can get to 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, then I'm giving this dude away. And I can assure you, whoever wins it is going to absolutely love this guitar. This thing is an absolute beast. And I have been thinking about this for weeks because I'm sitting there thinking, oh my God, can I actually give my guitar away? It's going to be tough. It's actually going to be tough to part with this guitar. And as far as I know, a lot of people are having a hard time getting this guitar right now because I've had quite a few people comment, dude, I've been waiting forever. Now, granted, by the time I get 50,000 subscribers and we give this away, chances are they will have bought themselves a guitar. But still, who doesn't want one for free? So let me drop this back in the case real quick. In the gig bag. I love gig bags. When you're carrying 4, 5 guitars to a show, gig bags are the greatest thing in the world. So that is correct. If I get to 50,000 subscribers by the end of this year, I am giving away my Ibanez 1070 PBZ that I absolutely love. Actually, I set this up. This became a throw-up between my Gibson ES235 and my Ibanez 1070 PBZ. I've got a video of the Ibanez 1070 PBZ up on my channel. I did a review on it, and the guitar is absolutely brilliant. It is a fantastic, fantastic guitar. So, why 50,000? Why are you setting such a big number? Well, it's easy. I'm the one giving away a $1,600 guitar. So I'm going to set a big number if I'm going to do this. So the way this is going to work, first off, this is in no way, any way, part, shape, or form has anything to do with YouTube or Ibanez. This is strictly between me and you, Trace Taylor. Ibanez and YouTube have no stake in this whatsoever. This is something I'm doing for myself. All you have to do to register to win this guitar is become a subscriber and click the bell. That is it. That's all you got to do. I'm also opening this up. I finally got my Patreon page set up correctly. So you can join my Patreon for as little as $3 a month. And you will also, for every one of my Patreon subscribers, you will get an entry into this also. So if you join my YouTube channel and click the bell, you get one. And then if you jump on the Patreon, you get one also. So this is strictly just a me thing. This is a nobody else thing. So, there's nobody else is liable for this, YouTube. So for some reason you don't win the guitar, you can't go to YouTube and say, oh, well, I should have won the guitar, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. what I am going to do is I'm going to take the subscribers I've got currently, because yes, I can see who you are, and I am going to literally put your name in a bucket. Then every time I get a new subscriber, I'm going to put your name in a bucket. And hopefully by the end of the year, I got 50,000 names in a bucket. And that's going to be a hell of a lot of writing down. A hell of a lot of writing down. And then for anybody who joins my Patreon channel that I just finally got up. Thank God, I've been messing with that thing forever, and I just haven't had time. So like I said, you can join my Patreon for as little as $3 a month, and that will also get you a subscription, an entry in to get the to win the guitar. But you don't have to. All you have to do is subscribe and click the bell, and you also get an entry. So you can get one for joining YouTube and one for joining my Patreon. So that is the big news I got out there. And like I said, the only reason I'm doing such a high number is because I'm the one giving away a $1,600 guitar. This is not sponsored by Ibanez. They did not give me this guitar to give away. This is my personal guitar that I absolutely love. And like I said, I had a very hard time deciding between this and my Gibson ES235. And I finally decided on the Ibanez because, well, there is no because. It's an amazing guitar. They're both amazing guitars. But for the way that I play and the way that I teach, I just figured if anybody's watching my channel and learning stuff from what I do, they'd probably just enjoy the Ibanez because I'm tremolo crazy and 24 fret guitar. So that was the big news that I am putting up on here. And hopefully this thing works, man. I don't want to get to 49,000 at the end of the year and not give this guitar away. I want to hit 50 by December 31st, and somebody's going to get a pretty damn good Christmas present via Trace Taylor. That's right. Just me, baby. That is a good Christmas present. That is a fantastic Christmas present. So, like I said, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel and click the bell. You can also join my Patreon community. You can do that for as little as $3 a month to jump in. And with that, you will get tabs for lessons that we are doing. And we got a lot of lessons coming up. And when I'm doing the theory masterclass, there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to end up on my Patreon channel from that alone. Usually any backing tracks I do will only be to the Patreon subscribers because I've got to get that going too. But this one, I'm actually going to put out there for everybody. Simply because, you know what, you may not be able to join Patreon right now. You may not have the money with things going on, and I can appreciate that. So we're going to throw this one up there for everybody to download. And like I said, and all you got to do is subscribe to get an entry to the guitar. That's it. So on that note, we got a lot of seriously cool things coming up. I'm super excited about my YouTube channel. I'm also very excited about my podcast, but like I said, it is very political. If you're not into politics, do not go to my podcast channel because you may not want to see that side of me because I get pretty heated on that channel. And actually, I've got that set up. I'm going to do the little thing of my podcast room right now, but actually when I'm done, there will be another setup like this minus this sitting right here in front of me, microphone stand, headphones, everything. Because eventually there'll be two people, I'll have two people doing that. And on my YouTube channel too, I'll get people to come over from time to time and sit in at the other microphone and we can go back and forth and all that. And it's going to be pretty cool. I've got some really good things coming up for both channels actually. But I'm most excited about my YouTube channel. This is something I've wanted to do for a long time. I absolutely love doing this. And I know I've said this before, but I hope to get this to a point where this is all I have to do. And it's not that I want to be a content creator. Actually, I hate that name. I just want to share what I know with as many people out there as I can. And I want those people to share back with me. Because as much as you all learn from me, I promise you, I can learn something from every single one of you all just as well. And that is why I'm going to have this segment come up this summer where you guys can call in or FaceTime or whatever and be on the channel. That's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm super excited about that. So I'm going to leave it at that. I've got the guitar. Dude, it's going to be hard to let it go, but you know what? You got to do what you got to do, and this is what I got to do. Because I want this thing, I just want this to blow up. I want this to blow up around me, and that's what I got to do. And hopefully it is so successful that I get to a point where I can give a guitar away every single year. That, for me, would be awesome, and I would love that, to go out and buy a guitar and give one away every single year. That would be amazing for me. On that note, we're going to leave it right there. 25 minutes. And if you've seen my videos, y'all know by now I love to talk. And there again, that's why I started the podcast. It is called Closed Minded. There is a link on my YouTube channel to it. Again, and I cannot stress this enough, if you are not into politics, do not check it out. If you're into politics, check it out. It's pretty cool. And that's only going to get better with time. It is new, so cutting teeth on it right now. So that is going to get much, much better, just like my YouTube channel did. This one, it took me a little while to kind of cut my teeth on it. And now it's just raining down all the stuff that I want to do for this. And I got some cool shit coming up. So again, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Check out my Patreon. Subscribe to that if you can. If you can, fantastic. If you cannot, I understand. Crazy times we live in, but you can join that for as little as $3 a month. I do have a link to my podcast, Closed Minded. It is sitting on my channel. And once again, if you are not into politics, do not subscribe to that channel because I get very heated. I cannot stress that enough because I don't want to lose YouTube subscribers because they believe differently than I believe about politics. But regardless of that, we all believe the same thing about music. So as long as you have common ground with somebody, you've got a friend, even if you disagree on major items. And like the great Sammy Hagar said, if you miss the beat, you lose the rhythm and nothing falls into place. And that works for everything in your life. And remember, this is one of my Trace Taylor sayings. I've been popping these up on my podcast, and I thought, you know what? It is time for me to pop these up on my YouTube channel. Because I got a wealth of knowledge inside that's not just a hat rack, my friend. Not just a hat rack. And the reason I'm saying this is because I made a point with this on my last channel. And so I'm just going to repeat it here on my closing. Wealth is not how much money you have in your bank account. Wealth is the connections you make along the way. And remember, true happiness is loving the people who truly love you. Because the people who truly love you will love you forever. And that, my friend, makes you a wealthy man. Until the next time, rock on.